is Ling Chi, brush painting for beginners from Oriental Art Supply. Today we're going to do something real interesting. We're going to demonstrate how I worked from a book by Ning Yeh to do Hydrangea. This book, ABC of Chinese Brush Painting, is one of the 3 books Ning Yeh has the most comprehensive, detailed instruction. Later on his book that cover more subject, but the instruction is not as detailed as the earlier book. So after the instructional guide, this is the second book he wrote that can teach you all the essence about how to do florals. And today we are going to use this book to do a hydrangea. And the original hydrangea in this book the finished work is like this. So we're going to simplify it to allow us to get it done to demo the detail in 15 minutes. And then you can see that these particular book will go from each floral, how it's being done, to how to arrange the group of them. And step by step, different colors, how do you use the color, and then how to position everything into a completely composition. So these my simplified version that I try to do similar to the book, but to condense it so I can get it done on a demonstration. That all the essence are in these demonstration. And if you want to do more elements in the painting, then you can follow this ABC of Chinese painting. So today's paper I'm using is one of our aged double Xuan paper. It's very stable, easy to control the moisture, and then also give you a good color. And what in our product number is P25BL, and this is a half sheet. And I have started with cluster to start with, and then I'm going to use this paper to show you how I do some individual flower, and then after I started it, I will be going pretty quickly to finish this composition. The color I'm using is the Bright Light, which is a budget Chinese watercolor. If you haven't tried it, I suggest you to get some to try it immediately, because as the tariff war going on between China and US, we don't know how long we can keep this in stock, but right now there's still plenty. I want to show you this tube color that I squeeze it into the palette, and then I make sure they are all blended very smoothly into a flower dish. And I have white, vermilion, carmine, rouge, purple, indigo, yellow and indigo into my green, and white. The brush I'm using is the Lotus Petal for the flower, and Full Lotus for the leaves, and detail brush Happy Tail for the details. So without too much explanation, I'm going to do a flower to show you how I do it. So the first I'm going to do a light flower. So I'm loading the white, and then I will rinse off the tip of the white, so it will give me a transparency. And I'm loading some vermilion. So to do a full flower in the light color, I'm doing here. Bottom petal, top petal, and side petal, and left side petal. So this is my large flower. And then I also sometimes will do half a flower, so then I will only have 3 petals like this. This is my light flower. The darker flower, I'm starting with some carmine with a little bit rouge and purple in the tip, and then blend. And then I do it purple dot in the middle. So then sometimes I will use my happy tail with some purple, blend the tip always, and then add some lines to show off the flower petal. So you can see the cluster of the flower is majorly are done that way. So I'm going to start to do the light ones first. I'm rinsing my front brush clean. So I'm loading the white, blend, and rinse the tip off. And then I have some vermilion, and I'm rinsing it off. So I'm doing the first one. So then I do a little red in the middle. So I finished my first light flower. And I'm doing the second one on the side, just 3 petals. And then the third one underneath. So like all my composition, I want to do it in the like a V shape. And then underneath, I'm doing making some side petal lighter. So then I'm going to do some darker ones. Now I'm starting with my carmine with a little rouge, some purple. So you can see I'm slowly making a circle already. And then I'm going to do some red ones on this side. Then I'm going to do some dark inside here. So you can see that the cluster of flower is forming by all, some full size, some half sizes. Now I'm going to do some more white and vermilion lighter flower on the top. Red center, red center. Red here on the side. Rouge and purple. Doing some light ones on the side. So I'm starting to forming some round shape, but without being a total round circle, but the shape is there. So now I'm going to add the leaves. So now I'm going to my full lotus brush, which is a larger one. I use some best bottle ink in here. So I'm going to start with the green. First I load the green, and second I load the indigo, and I make sure that I'm blending well, and then tip with ink. So I'm going to do then follow that. And on this side, I'm starting a cluster of leaves. Green, indigo, and the ink. Okay, so I'm trying to strand this with here. I'm going to do some light ink leaves here. So I'm going to do a here lighter ink here, and then here. Then I will have a little brown here to connect this with that. And then I'm going to do a big leaf underneath. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit shadow. So I'm using some brown, which is you can use vermilion with a little ink. make some shadow petals to accent. All right, so then I'm going to use light ink. Make sure that I'm clean up my brush. So I'm going to use a base of the so this is my center of the floral. So I'm going to suggest there is a vase there. So this is my center. So I'm going to do, and then I'm going to do a, so this finished my composition.